involved with individual cases, but we have to look not only at the letter of the law, but the spirit of the law. Do we want to decide to be a state where we only choose the choices that will be the least amount of effort for all of the parties involved, the ones that will sacrifice human life for the sake of our own convenience or our own safety, perhaps? Or do we choose a moral decision? Do we choose a decision to be spiritually enriching, not only by taking care of the women involved in these very difficult decisions of choosing between the pill or a medical abortion or otherwise, and also for the long-term care and protection of the children? With that, I will yield back.
Questions for Andy? Thank you very much for coming and your thoughts. So trade your seats with two who are in not opposition. This is the opposition, in support. Go ahead and fill those two seats. You'll be next up after. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. I'm Dr. Larry Miley, and I'm a board-certified pediatrician who trained at Children's Hospital in Denver. In the past, I've also been head of the State Health Department for 4.5 years and presented the budget to the Joint Appropriations Committee for four years. I'm also I was recruited to come to Wyoming as medical director of what was called the Improved Pregnancy Outcome Program. And just as an aside, I did visit every hospital in Wyoming that did deliver babies. When I was the head of the health department, we did computerize the Medicaid program so that now you have some statistics to go over things. I'm going to take this from kind of a broad perspective. I've been impressed by the legislature thinking how important families are, and that families are the ones that should be making decisions regarding what the family should do. And I know it's been thought that families should have the decisions about whether they have their children immunized or not, and also whether they should wear masks, etc. The thing that I find interesting is if families are important in making decisions, why is it that families that are trying to make decisions regarding the size of their family, whether they can nurture and afford children, why that no longer is a family decision, but that becomes a legislative decision by elected people in the family. So anyway, I am opposed to this because I think that to take away the family's prerogative to make decisions regarding how many children they can care for and nurture and afford should be their decision.
15 seconds. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, let me finish up with what I think will happen with this one. And I know this bill will pass, and I appreciate you letting us give our opinions here. But my prediction is that there'll be a lot of mail order prescriptions. There will be an increase in the infant mortality rates in the state of Wyoming, and it'll be very difficult to recruit physicians to the state of Wyoming, particularly physicians that are thinking about that would be doing obstetrics.
Okay, thank you. Any questions?
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead, Senator Dockstader.
Someone can obtain this through the mail without a doctor's prescription?
Beg pardon?
Someone can obtain this through the mail without a doctor's prescription?
Mr. Through you to Senator Dockstader. I think as time goes on that there'll be a way that individuals who want these medications will go outside of the usual way to get prescriptions. And I think we'll find that there will be ways of getting these pills. You just heard testimony about how people at the University of Wyoming are able to get these pills. I think it'll be interesting to see how that happens. And I do think that once families are unable to determine how many children they want, that we're going to see the infant mortality rates go up. And when I came to Wyoming, we, as medical director, the infant mortality rates in Wyoming were horrendous. In the 60s and 70s, Wyoming led in many cases, led the nation in infant mortality rates. And our program was to turn that around, and we did. And for those 20 years, there was 3 years when Wyoming was better than the national statistics as far as infant mortality rates were concerned. After our program, during our program, and following our program, we were always better than the national statistics as far as low infant mortality rates. And I think that's because we spent a lot of time going around the state teaching OB and neonatal nurses the importance of keeping babies warm, pink, and active, and sweet. Warm, sweet.
In that order, correct?
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you very much,
Yeah,
Doctor, for your testimony. Go ahead, ma'am.
Mr. Chairman, committee members,